We're still in preparation for Tissa, Parasha Tissa. Now this morning I had a look at the name of this Torah portion, and it's the phrase Tissa et Rosh. That means lift up the heads. Now, looking at the Hebrew letters reveal so much. When you look at the word ki, it's kaf yod. Yod is the unseen hand of Yahweh, and kaf is the seen or the physical hand. So working together, the unseen hand and the physical hand. Tissa, et is Aleph Taf. That's a symbol of Mashiach. And then Rosh is head, is Resh Aleph Shin. And Shin, of course, is the fire of Yahweh. We looked at that last week when we looked at the menorah and the oil. Now what's interesting is Tissa, Et, and Rosh each have the letter Aleph. And every letter Aleph represents Yotevave, Yahweh, but expressed in three different roles. I don't want to go to the concept of forms, because I believe Yahweh is Echad, and he expresses himself in three different ways to us. And those ways are connected to, the first one is the Spirit, the unseen, which is the work of the Spirit, which is Isaiah 11 verse 2. Then we have the next Aleph, which is the work of Mashiach. And the work of Messiah is also a menorah pattern, just like Isaiah 11, which holds the 7 festivals, Moedim, which are the physical work that's going to happen, which is the large or the kaf of ki, the physical hand. And the yod is the invisible hand, which is the next out of the Spirit, the work of the Spirit. Now the third one, of course, no-brainer, it's the work of the Father. Now what is the work of the Father? I don't know yet. What I can link it to maybe is something that I found looking at the end of the Torah portion, after Israel built the golden calf, they worshipped it, and then Moses came down. Yahweh was very angry, and Moses smashed the tablets, and then Moses pleaded before Yahweh, and part of that, Yahweh revealed himself to Moses, through the 13 attributes of grace, or the 13 attributes of Yahweh, which I believe are the first part of that reveals the heart of the Father. It starts off with 3 names: Yahweh, Yahweh, El, or Yahweh, Yahweh, Elohim. So it placed the emphasis on the name of grace first, which is Yotevave, which we connect to the name of the Father, or the function of the Father, which has to do with the covenant. And then the next one is Elohim, which is the name of justice and righteousness, which is more relating to Mashiach and also to his Spirit. And then we see all his mercy and kindness and long suffering and forgiveness as attributes of the Father. So I believe, now I've placed them on a menorah pattern as well, so we'll look at that on Sabbath towards the end of the study, just to look at that. And I believe that is the work of the Father, is to express his grace. We're also going to look at the object in the tabernacle. Now if you can think about what's the object of grace in the tabernacle, some might say, oh, it's the Ark of the Covenant. Others might say, no, it's the menorah or the showbread or whatever. But it's actually the laver. And we're going to look at that tomorrow as well, to see why the laver is the object of grace. And we also find that object of grace, the laver, on a menorah pattern in the sequence of all the things or the instructions of constructing the tabernacle, where the laver is in the middle, and then either side of the laver, the things in sequence of how Yahweh instructed it, actually give us the menorah pattern of grace, which I also think is the work of the Father. Because the Father is the one who gave His Son. He's the one who extended grace. And then the work was done through Mashiach, which is a menorah pattern of the festivals. And then the helping hand. We're also going to look at the function of the laver in relation to the Spirit and the attributes of water, and how the Spirit has a part to play also in the process of elevating us to a high level, which is in this case the priesthood. Now the next thing I want to highlight there in Tissa et Rosh, Tissa and et Aleph Tav each contains the letter Tav. Now the letter Tav can mean death, can mean the cross or the stake, but it also means yoke, or the means to perform work. Now, to take up something, that was the instruction, to lift up the heads of the people. When you take a census, or when you take account of those ones contributing. So the ones contributing are the ones who will have the yoke on their necks. They are the ones who will be able to till the ground, to plow the ground, which was one of the first instructions Yahweh gave to Adam, is to till the ground after the curse. Now, what is noted from previous studies is that the yoke, when you plow, you have actually two yokes, or one yoke with two places for two oxen, and then in the middle you apply the force that till the ground. So the one yoke is within the Aleph Tav, the other yoke is in Tissa, which is on the neck of the priests. So you can see that as a picture of, I'm not alone. Messiah is pulling alongside me to do the work of Mashiach on his behalf. So we are helping him. And then he gives us a helper to help us to do the work of the priesthood, which is carrying the yoke and plowing the ground with Mashiach for the benefit of sowing the seed of his word, and to have an inheritance or a harvest, which we read about in Revelation. After the tribulation, the harvest has come in, and they're the multitude standing before the throne of Yahweh. So we've got a lot of work to do. And what I also want to emphasize is the letter Tav means suffering. Book of James, it said, count it all joy when you go through sufferings and tribulation and trials. So that's internal, external trials and persecution. We also saw that in the 7 assemblies, which also fits in a menorah pattern of some of them, or actually Smyrna, which is connected to myrrh, which you need to crush to get the smell, the sweet smell, which is associated with offerings unto Yahweh that is pleasing unto him. So the suffering of the people, the persecuted ones, had the purest form of religion, if you want to call it a religion, the purest form of expressing Yahweh's word through their lives. And that is what we need to adhere to. Now the one that we're currently in within our time frame is Laodicea, which is the mixed multitude, confused body of Messiah, and it's a mess. It's a system of Babylon that infiltrated the body, and Yahweh need to have his workers working amongst them, not only in the world but also within his body, to plow the hearts of the people, to sow his seed, so that they can overcome the things that is not of him. So that's just a little snippet for tomorrow, introduction into the Torah portion, Tissa. I hope you have a lovely day, and we will meet tomorrow and then explore the rest of this lovely Torah portion. Have a lovely day. Shalom.